Hi everyone, so this is a quick update from me. Today was actually supposed to be the vlog for our Christmas shopping for the village Christmas party. It's a little bit depressing because presents have been arriving and they're just kind of in storage now. And so we've got all these like teddy bears and footballs and stuff that we should be deploying next week for the village kids Christmas party here. But obviously I don't think that's going to happen now. So what we are going to do is stockpile them and then just keep them for when it does happen, even if it has to be January, February, March, whatever. It doesn't really matter in Thailand. It's always hot anyway, and we will do it when we have to do it. Gotta say, I'm starting to miss Damo and the kids right now. Something that has freaked me out a little bit though is this. Damo, when she left, I think she put this outside the door to like make people think there was, somebody here, and I keep in my mind thinking it's her, you forget. And so it's a little bit eerily quiet without the kids. What I've actually been doing, I've been into town to get some supplies. What I did is I went in a particular direction where I know there's not many people there at the moment, and yet there are some small businesses open. And I took a little bit of time to get some eggs from the local vendor as well, just to support the local vendor. In fact, I bought 3 times more eggs than I actually required. At times like this, you can only really do small things, guys. I have to say, I've not seen much like desperation in the village or anything like that. I've not seen rice season's just been as well, so everybody's kind of got food. The sellers seem quite happy and whatnot, but they haven't got many customers. So I bought 3 load of eggs. I went and saw Fruit Lady as well. Bought some fruit from her, and I bought some for the local neighbours as well, just to support these little stalls. I noticed there was an Amazon open, so I did stop in and get a tea there, and all of the staff seemed in good spirits there, actually still working in the Amazon. They haven't taken any time off, so I was able to get some Thai tea from there, and there were some customers in as well. Most places, however, that I saw were closed down. It was mainly local sellers that were open and just spotted about one or two. I have to say now, I am definitely missing Damo and the kids. Driving back from the little shopping trip, it did occur to me what life would be like without my wife and the kids. Because I had a moment like where I was just thinking when I was in the car, what actually would it be like to be coming home to nobody, like a normal life. This isn't normal life right now, and it did pass my mind like how empty and vacuous my life would actually be without my wife and my kids. Now they are okay in Bangkok, they're still doing fine. Otis is actually doing school online. They've set up an online schooling program where he submits his homework digitally, and also different videos of him practicing different things that he's saying, like in English. I can show you a little bit of that here, like he's practicing English vocabulary to know what it means, and his teacher will mark this. He's also doing bits of written homework and whatnot. This is because last time we had an incident like this, the kids missed a lot of school and they had to catch up on it later. And so this time it seems that the school has been quite proactive in making sure they don't miss anything. Of course, looking around the different areas, that is probably the least of the problems at the moment for many people. There are many villages that have had to leave and that they're suffering at the moment. So all of this, missing a bit of school is minutiae in comparison, but from our family, from our report, from our family, that is what is going on. There's a lot of kids in there in Bangkok. Everyone is kind of crammed in, and I know that Damo and her mum and dad, they really do want to come home. I think the kids are just fine. Kids are just doing what kids do. They play, they think they're on a holiday. They've got, toys, a bit of educational stuff, and they've got their pads and they've got TVs and all kinds of mod cons that kids have these days. And to them, like my son doesn't know if the Christmas party's in a week, a month, or 6 months. It just comes when it comes to them at their age, All the dogs here are all in good shape. Charlie's had a bit of a fight with one of the other dogs in this area. He's a young male, so they're kind of establishing the pecking order. I can also tell you at times like this, when things are very uncertain, I get a feel for what may be going through a lot of the villagers' mind, like the psychology of the situation. Remember, a lot of the villagers, they're older, they're not, highly educated, they don't they can't look at like Google Maps and stuff and see where everything is. Many of them don't even have a phone. So in their mind, I think the psychology can be a little bit more intense. They feel like at any moment something really bad could just happen out of the blue, come through the roof or something. And so they're on like high alert. And I understand that as well, because if you do hear something, it does like trigger that fight or flight response in you, no matter what your exact location is. So if you hear or you certainly feel vibration, something like that, it can trigger that. And so you're kind of always on edge. You find that your hearing is vastly improved because you're very present and you're listening all the time for what's going on, and this is going on days, days and days and days. So I can understand a lot of the way the villagers here feel. And of course, some of them that do have phones, they're scrolling and they're watching like Facebook and they're watching social media and stuff, or they're seeing stuff on the news, and it's kind of scaring them when they're seeing those real kind of updates that are available, particularly through Facebook and things like that. So they do get scared that at any moment that could happen to them. But they are quite defiant as well in talking to them. Some would have seen on my previous vlog, a lot of them were saying things like, we're staying until the end, no matter what, so it's like, I gotta say there's a stiff upper lip attitude from these elderly, particularly the women. I've not talked to many of the men myself. It always seems to be the women that are around. I think when I try to talk to the men, a lot of them are off drinking rice whiskey, bless them. So, and they're in a joyous attitude simply because a lot of them have been on the rice whiskey, so they're just normal, like laughing and joking and just being, how Thai villagers that are on rice whiskey usually are. Now, depending on how long this goes on for, I don't know how like stir crazy you might start analysing me as on the vlog. You might start to think I'm going a bit mad because many days like in solitude like this. However, I'm a person that spends a lot of time on my own, like a lot of time, more than the average person, and I'm used to being here as well. So I actually don't feel any stress or any tension, and particularly as a dad, once the kids are out the way, your stress level goes from 90 to like 10, because once the kids are safe and they're safe, they're in a safe location, they're happy, that's your job done as a dad. Your only next job as a man really is protection of your home, and then also of course the animals that are all around here, which are my responsibility, and so we've got all that under control. Everything is happy and fed, like all the pigs are getting fed, the chickens are getting fed. Things like the pigs in an evacuation situation obviously cannot be taken with you. What we do in that case is let out a load of food, open up the pen, and so they have access to food there. Worst case situation, you have to let the pigs out completely of the enclosure and let them go wild. They'll eat grass, they'll eat things that they forage around, and then obviously all of the birds too. But also the birds are quite industrious. You can put a load of food out there, they won't overeat. They can go to the bamboo tree and peck out insects and things like that. For me, I'm taking our animals, so we got Alfie, we got the dogs, which can all go in the truck. We have Otis's pets. He has 2 pet rats. He has a pet frog, which are very easily transported. So that is the update on the animals. I know many people have asked us about that. But right now, myself and the family are wondering how long it may go on for. How could this go on for weeks and months? We also, our hearts are with the people that have had to leave and want to get back to their homes, and they're worried about the property and the damage to the property. Obviously, those that are caught up currently in much more serious situations, so they're the ones we're thinking about. Damo sent me a message just last night, and she said that she feels that we are so lucky in this situation because obviously we have the finances to be able to move. Our house is not in immediate danger, there's no destruction to the house, and that in comparison to a lot of people that have been displaced on both sides, our situation is actually very good, and I second that. We have a lot of gratitude for this particular situation, and we're thankful for the resources and the capability of our family and the well wishes from around the world. And all we can say is we hope for a speedy resolution, guys, and we hope that this village Christmas party will go ahead. I will be doing updates, but they'll be a little bit more like this now, in that they're more diary form. I've put some information in the pinned comment as well that I think is important, and I'll let you know how we're getting on, how the family's getting on, and thanks for checking in with me today, and stay safe, everybody.